Welcome to the 2300 Pick 6 football site and podcast for news, scores, bets, fantasy, and chat. It will hit you like a QB getting sacked.
Welcome to the 2300 Pick 6 podcast. I'm your host, Dave Walker, about to do another edition of the second of the part of the schedule for the teams that are going to get picked tonight. Who will be picked tonight? Will it be a wild card? Find out and see what's going to happen right now. Before we begin, I'm going to get into my Memorial Day weekend. I was at AEW Double or Nothing. Very good pay-per-view. I got a couple of shirts. I got the AEW Double or Nothing I Was There shirt in blue. Stuff that. Also got one of my friends a shirt. If you are watching this, Ricky Storm, a.k.a. Rick Jackson. I got your shirt in the bag with the Tony Storm Serena D Mac shirt or fan. Here's that shirt right there. Please, he'll get that one right there. Also brought to you by Prime. Drinking right now by Prime. Favorite is the Ice Pop. But let's begin. Shuffle this deck. We're going to figure out which four we're going to. And we are now going to start. The first card is going to be the wild card. So this is my choice. So who do I want to pick? So the last team we did was the New York Jets. So sticking with the state of New York, we're going to pick the New York Giants. That's going to be my next. So let's pull up the Giants schedule right now. Okay, we have the Giants schedule up right now. The Giants right now, they're coming off of a very bad season due to Danny Dimes getting injured. Jones. We're going to find out now that Saquon Barkley has now gone to the Philadelphia Eagles, how they're going to do it with the new running back system to get receivers. Defense is still a question mark, and the offensive line is still a question mark as always. We'll wait and see. We're going to find out while I go through their list of games, how much they're going to win. Now, their first game is going to be against the Minnesota Vikings. This is going to be a tough one here. Both do not have a quarterback. The Vikings do have Justin Hill. Neither have a defense in this one. I don't see this game being that good, low scoring, but since it's in New York, I will give the Giants this win here. I don't know how they pull it off very low. I see this not being a very good game come week one between the Giants and Vikings. I see it more being like more of a Mets/Yankees, maybe Twins game. But that's how I see that game. Next one we have is the Giants and the Commanders. Washington has had its trouble against New York. Now, Washington has a rookie quarterback. New York has still got Dean Jones. This is a tough one. When you really say bad football, and you really got bad football. This one's going to be a tough second here. I'm going to go with in this one. As of right now, I will say Washington gets this victory. I don't see the Giants pulling this one off. I see Washington getting their revenge of getting swept from last year. I'm going to take the Commanders in this one, so the Giants are going to be 1-1. The next game they have against is the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to take Cleveland in this one. Cleveland has that defense. I don't think New York can compete. Myles Garrett's going to have a field day with Danny Dimes. So I will take the Cleveland Browns in this one. Cowboys-Giants, this game I will be at on Thursday night for week 4. I'm picking the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas has smoked New York so many times that I can't even keep track of. I can see this being another smoking again by the Cowboys winning that one. Giants Seahawks. I have the Seahawks winning that one in Seattle. It is not easy to beat them at times. Dino Smith and Jagoku Smith and DK Metcalf are going to have a field day against the Giants defense. So I will take the Saints Seahawks on that one. Bengals Giants. Bengals are going to win that one. Joe Burrow literally is going to shred them. Go into Jamar Chase and Mixon. They're going to shred the Giants. Eagles, Giants. I'm going to pick the Eagles in this one. I don't see that change. I don't see the Giants getting a win with Danny Dimes against Philadelphia. So I see the Philadelphia Eagles winning that one with these. Giants, Steelers on a Monday night in Pittsburgh. I will take the Steelers in this one. Depends on what rust I am going to get. If it's not rust, it could be just Fields. I will take the Steelers in this one. Steelers get the win on that one. Giants, Commanders. I'm going to say the Giants get this one. I think the Giants and Washington split. I will take the New York Giants on that one. Giants, Panthers in Germany. Oh, God. We got to wake up 9:30 for this one. Oh, God. There's possible we're going to have two bad teams. Do we really want to waste our Sundays for this one when this game comes? Thinking on this one here. Give me a sec. I'm going to take the Panthers in this one. I think the Panthers pull up an upset. I don't see this being a very good game, so I will take the Carolina Panthers in this one. Next one we got is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New York Giants. I'll go with Tampa on that one. Tampa's going to beat New York. I can see Baker going to Mike Evans, the running backs and tight ends getting that one, so I'll go there one. Giants, Cowboys in Dallas on Thanksgiving. Cowboys are going to win, sweep the Giants as usual. So I have the Cowboys winning that one. Saints, Giants. I'm going to pick the New Orleans Saints in this one. The Saints get the win there. Ravens, Giants. Ravens are going to win that one. There's no question. The Ravens are going to kill the New York Giants. Giants, Falcons. I'm going to pick Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins shred that New York secondary going to Drake London and Kyle Pitts. Colts, Giants. I'm going to go the Colts in this one. The Colts get the win on that one. And then Giants, Eagles in Philadelphia. Depending on how this one goes, this game could be decided between either Philly and Dallas for the NFC East. So I will say the Giants and the Eagles in this one. I see the Eagles getting the win in this one. So the Giants schedule. So here's what I have for the Giants record. Win over the Vikings, lost to the Commanders, lost to the Browns, lost to the Cowboys, lost to the Seahawks, lost to the Bengals, lost to the Eagles, lost to the Steelers, win over the Commanders, lost to the Panthers, lost to the Bucs, lost to the Cowboys, lost to the Saints, lost to the Ravens, lost to the Falcons, lost to the Colts and the Eagles. So I have the Giants winning about, so let's see, 2 games. So they will go 2-15, not making playoffs, and this will probably be maybe Gable's last game. He probably gets fired because the Giants have had a tendency to fire here, so I see him getting fired, and this might be Danny Jones going away too, so I see the Giants losing that. Next team on the list, or will be another wild. Let's see what it is. Draw 2. Let's see what 2 we're going to get here. So they're 2 reverses. So sticking with the theme in the NFC East. So 2 of these were that. So we're going to stay in the NFC East for these 2. We did the Giants. They're out. We will do my team, the Dallas Cowboys. So before we begin, if anybody's watching this, there will be no bias involved. I will be unbiased, and I will give my honest opinion about the Cowboys schedule. If anybody thinks there's a bias involved, go ahead. I don't really give a care. I don't really give a fuck. This is my personal opinion, not yours. This is my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So we will do the Dallas Cowboys. For my team, the Cowboys, I'll see they did not get anybody after going all in, which we didn't see. Did get Ezekiel Elliott back. They won the NFC East. Did get eliminated royally by the Green Bay Packers after being cocky. We're going to see what happens with them. For the Dallas Cowboys, this is literally trying to save Dak's job and Mike McCarthy. The farthest they can go for McCarthy to have his job safe is in a championship. Same for Dak as well, too. But it's basically for these 2, they're trying to save their job. So let's see what happens. First game is the Dallas Cowboys and the Cleveland Browns. This is a tough one here. I want to go my team, but I know how Dallas is on week 1, and I know how Dak is in week 2. So here's how the thing is. If it ain't the New York Giants on week 1, they're not winning. So unfortunately, I have Dallas going 0-1, possibly losing to a last-minute field goal. So I will take the Cleveland Browns in that one. They're going to go 0-1. Saints-Cowboys home opener. Dallas rebounds from that one. They go 1-1, getting the victory at home with Dak going to Rico Dow and going to CD and Brandon Cook and Jalen Tolbert. I want to see how Jalen Tolbert does because he's saying, Brandon Cooks is saying he's going to be the real deal. But let's see what happens with Jalen Tolbert. Can he replace Michael Gallup? Baltimore Ravens, Ravens-Cowboys. That will be a loss even though it's in Dallas, but Baltimore is the better team in that one. We're going to have a tough time trying to stop Lamar and Gus Edwards. I see the Baltimore Ravens winning that one. Cowboys-Giants. Cowboys win that one with ease. As I said in the Giants one, I will be at that game Thursday night in MetLife where I would royally like to invade their home as usual and getting another win right there. So that will be the win right there. Cowboys-Steelers. Dallas gets a win there. I don't see Russ being the same even though it's in Pittsburgh. It could be either against Russ or Justin Fields. I see Dallas winning that one with ease, probably by 2 scores in that one. They get the win over Pittsburgh. Detroit, that one is going to be a win right there because Detroit has its problems against the Cowboys in Dallas. Dallas wins probably by a last-minute field goal or in an overtime because Detroit is going to try to get that taste out of their mouth from last year after losing in controversial fashion. I see Dallas winning that one at home. Cowboys-49ers, that will be a loss. Dallas is going to lose to San Francisco on Sunday Night Football to them. I'm not going to say it's going to be bad as last year when they got killed, but I say they probably might be lose by 2 or 3 scores in this one. I will say the Cowboys lose to the 49ers. Cowboys-Falcons in Atlanta. Dallas wins that one. Dallas has a lot of time getting to Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins sucks against us. I can see Micah Parsons getting to Kirk Cousins. To the Dallas Cowboys, that one. Cowboys-Eagles in Dallas. Philadelphia has not beaten Dallas at home, and I don't see that trend staying. I don't see that trend breaking anytime soon. Philly has not won in Dallas since winning the Super Bowl. Cowboys win that one, possibly by maybe 2 or 3 scores, possibly maybe an overtime or a late-minute field goal with that. Texans-Cowboys on a Monday night. I'm going to go with the Cowboys on this one because Houston has its problems playing against us in Dallas. Houston has not won in Dallas. I see that trend continuing, and this one being decided by an overtime. Cowboys-Commanders. Cowboys win that one. They get the win over Dan Quinn. Commanders are nowhere to be able to contend with the Cowboys. I will take the Dallas Cowboys on that one. I don't know if I'm going to go to this game or not. This is a maybe. It's going to depend on how my condition is and how I'm feeling. If I'm not burnt out from going to, I'm going to assume there's going to be a collision that Friday the night before. And then a Saturday, which is full gear. I don't know how my body is and how my condition I'm going to be in. I don't know if I'm going to go to this one or not. It's going to depend on how my body and how I am feeling that day. So that is a maybe. I might go to that game. Cowboys-Giants, this is going to be one Thanksgiving game I can't go to due to my job. I don't have enough time to cover it. So I'm going to pick the Dallas Cowboys in it. They put the New York Giants. Cowboys-Bengals on a Monday night. Cowboys get the win on this one because Cincinnati has its problems playing in Dallas. Cincinnati does not win in. And now if this game was in Cincinnati, I say the Cowboys would have took a loss. But no, I'm going to take the Cowboys in this one, getting the win. Cowboys, Panthers in Carolina. Cowboys will smoke Carolina. I see them getting the win there. A Sunday nighter, Cowboys, Buccaneers. This one is a tough one here. Depends where Tampa is at this point. If they're not fighting for a wild card or fighting for the division, I will take Dallas in this one. I think Dallas gets the win on this one. I say very, very close, beating Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I say Dallas wins that one. Cowboys, Eagles. I don't see a sweep in this one. I see a split here. I see it deciding either by a last-minute field goal by Philadelphia or an overtime, or Dallas screws up somehow and Philly gets the win in that fashion. And then the last one, Cowboys, Commanders. Cowboys get the win. This game right here could decide the NFC East between Dallas and Philly. Does the curse get broken? I don't know. But my friend Wolf has said, the curse is out of man where no back-to-back winner has occurred. I don't know if there is going to be a back-to-back winner in the NFC East. We're going to wait and see what occurs there with this one. So for the Cowboys record I have, lost to the Cleveland Browns, they're going to be 0-1. Win against the Saints, they're going to be 1-1. Lost to Ravens 1-2. Win against the Giants 2-2. Win against the Steelers 3-2. Win against Detroit 4-2. Lost to the 49ers 4-3. Win against the Falcons 5-3. Win against Philly 6-3. Win against Houston 7-3. Win against the Commanders 8-3. Win against the Giants 9-3. Against Cincy 10-3. Against the Panthers 11-3. Against the Bucks 12-3. Lost to the Eagles. They're going to be 12-4. So I say at least 13-4 they will go. I don't know how they're going to go in the playoffs. We'll wait until I get to that in August. We'll wait and see. The other was another reverse card, so we're going to stay in the NFC East again. So the next one will be the Philadelphia Eagles. This is the third team. So for the Eagles schedule right now, the Eagles making a lot of moves. They've got Saquon Barkley. Question mark with him is, can he stay healthy? Jalen also has a question mark. Can the Eagles get past they literally had a good season until they hit rock bottom right after losing to the Dallas Cowboys, and then only one win was against the New York Giants, and lost in a fuck you game to the Arizona Cardinals. And I'm going to explain this term to you, what this means. Fuck you game is basically saying the team that is so bad will fuck you over in getting a playoff spot, division, or your seeding. That is the meaning of a fuck. And I have seen 3 of them now. I can give some examples. Recently, Cowboys, Cardinals, Eagles. Kyler Murray had nothing to play for. Cardinals fucked the Eagles over. Eagles lost in the first round to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Next one, Oakland and Tennessee, when the Raiders were still in Oakland, the Vegas Raiders. Raiders played the Titans. Titans injured Derek Carr. Raiders got eliminated in the playoffs in the first round. And then the one that start the term, Cowboys, Commanders. I'm going to say Redskins, because at the time they were still the Washington Redskins. The Redskins injured Tony Romo. That caused that injury right there, and the Cowboys could not make the playoffs. So now we are going to do the Philadelphia Eagles in our third. I'm going to pull up the Eagles schedule right. I have the Eagles schedule up right now. Their first game is on Friday night in Sao Paulo, Brazil, against the Green Bay Packers. That is a tough game right there. We have 2 very good teams, even though it is in another country. This game, I am going to go Packers in this one, because I wouldn't want to count the Packers, because I did count them out when the season began last year, and I thought it was an easy victory for us in the playoffs. And look what happened. We got smoked pretty bad by the Green Bay Packers at home. So in this one right here, I am going to pick the Green Bay Packers with Jordan Love going to either Wicks or Dobbs, and that defense get hurt. I say the Green Bay Packers win in a close one, probably by field goal or in overtime. I am going to take the Green Bay Packers in that. Next is a Monday night game against the Atlanta Falcons. That's a win. We all know how Kirk Cousins is on prime time. He sucks against the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Eagles are going to smoke him. They have a win there. Eagles, Saints. This one I'm going to call an upset. I'm going to take the Saints in this one. And no, I'm not playing the hater card being a Dallas Cowboy fan. This is my personal opinion on how I think about this. The Philadelphia Eagles have their problems against the New Orleans Saints. And in New Orleans, it's not easy to win in there. So I will take the New Orleans Saints in this. Saints are going to win this one very, very close. I see the Eagles at 1-2. Eagles, Buccaneers in Tampa. Eagles did get a win in Tampa last year. And for this one, I'm going to say the Eagles get the win on this one, because the Eagles are looking for revenge after losing in the wild card to Tampa Bay. I say the Eagles win this one close, or maybe by field goal, or maybe in overtime. But in this one, I see Philadelphia winning that one close. Browns, Eagles. Here's the thing. I'm going to go another shocker here. And this, again, I'm not playing the Dallas Cowboy card. I'm going to say Cleveland in this one. You don't want to underestimate the Cleveland Browns here because of that defense. The Browns have a good defense. And with this one, even though it's in the link, this one could be very low scoring. This one could be a defensive struggle. This could turn into a Cleveland Guardians game versus the Philadelphia Phillies game. So I will take the Cleveland Browns in this. Eagles, Giants. I'm going to go the Eagles in this one. The Giants cannot. They can't hang with Philadelphia. Giants can't. So I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles in this one. Eagles, Bengals. All right. So there are 2 outcomes to this, I'm going to say. Between these 2 teams, we have had a tie. And in this one, I hate to say, it could come to a tie again, because both of these 2 teams are good, and I'm not making fun, but between these 2, it has been a tie. And I hate to say there might be another tie between these. So I'm going to say a tie for now. But when we cross that bridge in October when this game occurs, depending how everything is, there is going to be a way I might change my mind on when I say tie, and it could be a win either between either the Eagles or the Bengals. But in this instance right now, for the purpose of this podcast and the purpose of right now, I'm going to say a tie as of right now between these. That game could go to a tie. Next, we have the Jaguars and the Eagles. Philly's going to get the win here, not in Jacksonville, Sunday nighter. I don't know how for the Jacksonville if he. I'm trying to think. What is his name? I just lost my train of thought here. If anybody's watching, give me a hand here because I'm losing my train of thought. Trevor Lawrence. So if Trevor Lawrence is there, I can see it, but I don't think Trevor Lawrence and them are going to win that game. So I will go with the Eagles up with this one. Very, very close. I'm going to take the Eagles in this one. Next one we have is the Eagles-Cowboys. This one is in Dallas. Dallas wins this one because Dallas has handled Philly at home. Like I said before, Philadelphia has not won in Dallas since winning the Super Bowl. Dallas has owned them at home. I see that trend still continuing. Commanders, Eagles. Eagles get the win with this one. Commanders right now, even with Dan Quinn, they're going to be in a new – they're not going to be able to hang with Philadelphia. So I'm going to take the Eagles in this one. Eagles, Rams on a Sunday Night Football in L.A. This one I'm going to say another upset here. I'm going to say the Rams win this one because right now you got to watch out for the Rams. If I do get to the Rams tonight, if it is in that deck of cards, Rams are going to surprise a lot of people this year. I can see Stafford having a good year. Same with Puka Nacua. Same with Cooper Kupp and Kyron Robinson. I'm going to pick the Rams in that one. Eagles, Ravens, December. In Baltimore, I see the Ravens winning this one with Lamar and Jalen having a shootout duel. This game I could see go to overtime, and I can see Baltimore winning. Panthers, Eagles. Eagles are going to win that one. Carolina cannot hang with Philadelphia, and I don't see this being a proverbial. I don't see that being a fuck. Carolina cannot contend. So I'm sorry. I'm going to go with Philadelphia on that one. Steelers, Eagles on the 15th of December. All right. So with this one, this is pending who the quarterback is at this time. If it is still Russell Wilson, Steelers are going to pull an upset off because Russell Wilson has handled the Eagles. He has never lost against Philadelphia if it is still Russ. Now, if it is Justin Fields, this could go either way as a potential fuck you game to the Eagles, or the Eagles pull it off and get the dub, and this becomes an ugly win. But in this one, I'm going to take, if it is Russell Wilson at this time still there, I will go with the Steelers. For the sake of this, I'm going to say right now it's still Russ. But if it is Justin Field, I'm still going to say a loss as a potential fuck you game, as an upset. Eagles, Commanders, I'm going to say the Eagles get the win there. Cowboys, Eagles. Eagles and Cowboys are going to split. They'll get the win there. And then Giants and Eagles. Eagles get the win there and a potential for the NFC East between Dallas and Philadelphia. Does the trend continue of the division switching to someone else, or will the curse of Donovan McNabb get broke? So for the Eagles record we have is this. Loss against the Packers, they are 0-1. Win against the Falcons, they are 1-1. Loss against the Saints, they're 1-2. Win against Tampa, you're 2-2. Loss to Cleveland, 2-3. Win against the Giants, 3-3. Now, for that Bengals game, I said a draw. They're going to probably be 2-3-1 at that point because I said they were going to lose to the Packers. They were going to beat the Falcons. They were going to lose to the Saints, beat the Bucs, lose to the Browns. So they probably would be either 3-3-1 or possibly maybe 3-4, or maybe 4-3, like I said for the sake of this podcast. Jacksonville, they get a win there, so you're probably 4-3-1. So I'm going to say right now that ties it. They're 4-3-1. Against the Cowboys, 4-4-1. Against the Commanders, 5-4-1. Against the Rams, they're 5-5-1. Against the Ravens, 5-6-1. Against the Panthers, 6-6-1. Steelers, I'm going to say 6-7-1. Against the Commanders, 7-7-1. Against the Cowboys, 8-7-1. And then against the Giants, 9-7-1. So the Eagles still get in the playoffs, even though that tie, I don't know how that tie is going to do anything. That tie could affect them in some way if it tie. But if they don't, then we'll see what happens. But I don't know how it is. They still make the playoffs somehow with that tie. And now the final one. The Seattle Seahawks is the last one. We're going to pull up the Seattle Seahawks schedule. Seattle have new changes. They no longer have Pete Carroll as their coach. He's now an advisor. They'll have the same weapon. They have Kenneth Walker will be back for this one. They're going to have N'Kobe Smith. They're going to have Noah Fant and also DK Metcalf. So we're going to pull up the Seahawks schedule right now. All right, so the Seahawks start off week 1 against the Denver Broncos. I have Seattle winning that one at home. It's tough to beat them at home. They're not unbeatable like they used to be, but it's tough to win down at Quest Field. Well, Lumen Field. Let me take that back. At Lumen. I have the Seahawks winning that one against the Denver Broncos. They get the win there. They're 0. Against New England, a little bit tough right now. We're going to be in a new enter. I don't know much about the pit, how Drake May is going to, how their new quarterback's going to be. So in this instance, I am going to take the Seahawks that one. They are 2-0. Dolphins, Seahawks. I'm going to go in an upset here. I say the Dolphins win that. I'm going to say the Dolphins win. It's not going to be an upset. The Dolphins take that one at Lumen. They're going to win that very, very close because it's not going to be easy from the win. So I say the Dolphins take that one. They're going to be 2-1. Against the Lions on Monday Night Football, Detroit gets revenge after losing from week 2 last year. Detroit gets that victory. They're going to be 2-2. Against the Giants, they rebound. They're going to be 3-3. They're going to be 3-2 at that point. Against the 49ers, they're going to be 3-3. The 49ers are going to wipe the floor at them, so I have that as a win. That is a loss for the Seahawks. Okay, so for the Falcons in Atlanta, tough one there. I'm going to go in an upset here. I think the Falcons win that one close. I say Atlanta wins that because in Atlanta was very good at home. I think Atlanta gets the win there. Against Buffalo, if Stephon Diggs was still there, I would say Buffalo wins this. But without him, this is a tough call. I will say the Seahawks win this one in an upset because I don't know how Josh Allen is going to be without Stephon Diggs. We're going to see how this goes. So I will take Seattle with an upset at home, winning it in overtime because I don't see Josh Allen pulling that one off in a win. Rams, Seahawks. That one, I am going to say the Rams on this one because the Rams have won in Seattle last year. And this was the birth of Puka Nacua in week 1. How we got it. I say the Rams win this one and Puka Nacua has a good game and he goes off. Cardinals, Seahawks. I see the Seahawks beating the Cardinals in that one. I don't think Tyler and company are going to win that one. So I will take the Seahawks in this one. Seahawks, Jets. I take the Jets in this one. Geno does not get revenge this time. I see Aaron Rodgers dicing them up. He is always diced the Seahawks. I'm going to take the Jets on that one. Next one we have is Seahawks, Cardinals. This one I'm going to say the Cardinals get a victory here. I think the Cardinals, Seahawks split. Between these two, it's going to be a little bit screwy at the time, but I say the Cardinals going to split. Packers, Seahawks. I'm going to go Green Bay. I see Jordan Love getting the win here, and this one very, very close. I say Green Bay wins that one. Vikings, Seahawks. I'm going to say Seahawks win that one. Minnesota is going to be a little bit different. Kirk Cousins was there. Then there was a possibility. I say Minnesota gets the victory in that one. But I will say the Seahawks. Seahawks, Bears. I see Seahawks getting the win over Chicago. I get them getting that victory there. And then the last game is Rams, Seahawks. I say the Rams get the victory in this one. They get the sweep because there's a possibility they could be competing with the 49ers for the division. I will say the Rams on that. So a breakdown of the record for the Seahawks, what I have is win against the Broncos, they are 1-0. Win against the Patriots, they're 2-0. Lost to Dolphins, 2-1. Lost to Detroit, 2-2. Win against the Giants, 3-2. Lost to the 49ers, 3-3. Lost to the Falcons, 3-4. Win against the Bills, 4-4. Lost to the Rams, 4-5. Lost to the 49ers, 4-6. Win against the Cardinals, 5-6. Lost to the Jets, 5-7. Lost to the Cardinals, 5-8. Lost to the Packers, 5-9. Win against the Vikings, 6-9. Win against the Bears, 7-9. And then a loss to the Rams, 7-10. So they will not make the playoffs. They will go 7-10. So that is all for now. So we'll be back here maybe next Sunday. I'll think about doing another show this week in June. If not, I'll see how my schedule permits. So we've already done 8 teams so far. So we have at least 32 out of that. So we have 24 more to go. So out of all this, before we end this stream, look for us on our Facebook page on the 2300 Pick 6 page. We also have other networks too. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. But before I begin, quote Mark Henry. Well, of course, he's no longer at AEW anymore. So I still like the line when he did on Rampage, but I'm still going to use my line that I stole from him, which is, well, there's been enough time to talk. It's time for kickoff. I'm Dave Walker, and I will see you on the field. Good night, everybody.